It's time to roar in 2024. We're going to roar with confidence, roar for more joy, roar for what you deserve. This year is your year. It's about you. Roar in 24. Because I wear the shirt of the lion that I got in San Diego, at the San Diego Zoo, sometimes it gives you that idea that you can roar like a lion. I always love the sound of the roar of a lion. You're listening to the podcast, Leader is Greater. My name is Tyrone Erasmus Campbell. Just call me Erasmus. So, Dr. Miles Monroe says you got to be about it. Can't talk about it. You got to be about it. So, just a few things that Dr. Miles Monroe said in his last sermon. Got to make sure you get that last sermon. Dr. Miles Monroe died very strangely. You know, the accident that took him and his wife and his loved ones out was very strange, the way he passed. And so he will never be forgotten. He spoke about death in his last sermon. He spoke about his faith in God. So that's why Dr. Miles Monroe said he's going to always follow Jesus, because he beat death, which is the biggest fear of mankind, death, and Jesus beat it. So Miles Monroe says he's going to hang with that man, not Mahatma Gandhi. He's going to hang with the man who defeated death. So read and look out for the last words of Dr. Miles Monroe. There's no greater pastor that I've ever met. And he's going to tell everyone that he knows. You got to tell them about the kingdom. You got to tell them about the kingdom. And so that's what it's all about, the kingdom of heaven. And you don't have to die to get to the kingdom. You don't have to die to get to the kingdom. The kingdom can be right here on earth. That's what I said. I want to pay tribute to all those who helped me put together Later is Greater. All the people that were behind the scene, Shalina, Ngazi, so many other people that helped me make this show exactly what it is. And this podcast will be going to another level in 2024. Make sure you use my phrase, do what you do. That's the new phrase of 2024. I created. You're going to find out more about it. Listen to my story and how I created Later is Greater. How I created the phrase, do what you do, because nobody can do it better than you. Do what you do. Say those words to yourself each day. Do what you do. Nobody's better than you at what you do. So do what you do. Take care of yourself. Encourage yourself. Lift yourself up. It's your time. Spend your time the way you want to spend your time. Spend them like you like them. Spend them like they're your last days. It's your time. Nobody can tell you what to do with your time. It's your time. It's the time of the seasoned seniors. You got to wake up. You got to do what you do. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. Don't let anybody put stress on you. Flip it. Give it back to them. Tell them, do what you do. Because I got to do what I got to do. It is what it is. It's a new year. It's a new time. It's a new day dawning. Talk about a lot of things that's going to be coming up here in the new year. One, we have to definitely acknowledge all our seasoned seniors. We have James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones is coming up on 90-something probably. I met James Earl Jones many years ago. I was interviewing the cast for Shaft, and he was there, and I tried to get him to do a voiceover so I could use it on my show here in Houston. I said, could you say that this show is called This Is It? Could you say that? He said, no, I can't say that. Well, my show was called Dare to Dare. My show was called Dare to Dare. And so I said, could you just say this show is called Dare to Dare? He said, no, I can't do that. I'm on CNN, and there's only so much that I can say. But I have Aunt Lily in Texas, and I could send out a hello to Aunt Lily. I said, he said, can I do that? I said, yeah, you can do that, Mr. Jones. James Earl Jones, you can do that, Mr. Jones. He said, okay, I'll send that, but I can't do what you need me to do because I'm under contract to CNN. I said, all right. So I met James Earl Jones many years ago. We need to pay respect to him, one of our greatest of all times. I know people don't like Bill Cosby. He did a lot of bad things. Technically, I was working at a job in Kansas City, Missouri. Bill Cosby was downstairs in the studio, and so I was upstairs. I went down to see him because he was from Philly. I'm from Philly. I wanted to see Bill Cosby. My boss says, "Didn't I tell you to stay upstairs?" And so, why'd you come down? I said, I come down because I wanted to see Bill Cosby from my hometown. Nevertheless, 2 months later, I was out of there. He got rid of me. And so Bill Cosby didn't get me fired. It was destined because, I went on and did some other things, got into TV sales, and, but that was a moment that was someone that I had met, of great stature and caused me to lose my job. Met Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson, also a chef, was there, and I wasn't crazy about Samuel Jackson. Kind of treated people a little disrespectful, kind of looked down at him. I don't know if that was maybe because he was a little taller than some people, but he wasn't that much taller than me. But nevertheless, wasn't crazy about Samuel Jackson. But I did also meet Richard Roundtree. And I said, Richard, they said that I look like Isaac Hayes. They said I look like Isaac Hayes. He said, nah, you don't look like Isaac Hayes. So they were all there. It was a big function. I was glad to walk amongst them. And I met all these great people at that time. And so no matter whether I like Samuel Jackson, he's went on and did a body of work that will follow him forever. And he's doing things that we could only hope that we could do. So whatever he's doing, hats off to it. Do what you do. So from my book, I wrote a book, 2012, titled Dare to Dare, which means nobody can dare you but you. And so nobody can say to you, I dare you to be great or be good today. Nobody can dare you but you. You have to dare yourself. That's why my book is titled Dare to Dare. So I have a lot of things to talk about. You're listening to the podcast called Later is Greater. Because I wear the shirt of the lion that I got in San Diego, at the San Diego Zoo, sometimes it gives you that idea that you can roar like a lion. I always love the sound of the roar of a lion. You're listening to the podcast, Later is Greater. My name is Tyrone Erasmus Campbell. Just call me Erasmus. They call him the king of the jungle. He's a lion. That's why I like the look of the lion. I like the look of the lion because it tells you when you look at it that it is not to be messed with. I love the roar of the lion. I like all that. You listen to the podcast, Later is Greater. My name is Erasmus. Coming up on Later is Greater, we're going to be talking about relationships. We're going to be talking about, again, not only why it seems that every color loves our color, but those of our color, we don't love each other. We're going to be talking about that more on Later is Greater, coming up 2024. We're also going to be talking about how to show love. Don't receive it, you're not feeling it. Somehow you have to do things to generate love, solidarity, but you have to make it intentional. That's a word we also need to use in 2024. What is your intent? It must be intentional. Even relationships, you must have an intent to be in that relationship. It must be intentional. So you need to think about that also. Beautiful site we have here. It is Sydney, Australia. It is a theater in Sydney, Australia. So also, we want to talk about coming up in this year, relationships. Can you go back? Should you go back? If you broke up with someone, you got a divorce from them even, years later, should you go back? Can you go back? If they cheated on you, and they cheated on you just weeks, months ago, and you're thinking about whether you should take them back or let them go. Those are decisions coming up, 2024. Relationships. We're going to find out why every color loves our color but our color. It's got to be a reason. We're going to have to learn how to love each other, show love, give love in order to be loved. But don't forget the new phrase of 2024, do what you do. When they start driving you with questions that repeating over and over, do what you do. Give that stress back to them. Don't keep it. Give it back to them. Do what you do. And then when you don't really know what you want to do and you're fighting yourself, doubting yourself, just look in the mirror and say, do what you do, because nobody can do it better than you. You're listening to the podcast called Later is Greater. My name is Erasmus. Stay with me. There's a new day dawning, and we want to be blessed to see it. 2024.
Roar for more in 24.